Welcome to Absurdly Nerd. This week we're going to get into 6 things we loved about Sony's State of Play on June 2nd and 3 things we didn't love as much.
I tried to do 6, but I did 2 thumbs.
So, whatever this is.
Yeah, dude. Too much rock for one hand.
I want to go first, and I want to get into my game of the show, the Callisto Protocol.
Ooh.
A game that I wasn't particularly excited about. Like, when they first showed it, I was like, yeah, we get a new Dead Space. And then they announced Dead Space remakes coming. I'm like, okay, so I'm getting the original thing and refreshed.
Yeah.
But this, holy crap, it blew it out of the water way past anything I ever expected. And a 2022 date to boot.
Do you think it sticks that date? Do you think it lands?
Keep that fucking in.
Do you think it hits that December date?
I think they really wanted to. And here's my...
Can't push it to June, that's for sure.
Well, yeah. Well, here's my speculation.
January. Good God, I'm a fucking idiot, dude.
No, if you had balls, push it to January.
Put it on the same day.
Well, here's my guess, and this is just speculation. I have no insider knowledge, but I think as soon as that Dead Space remake was announced, they were like, hey, we need to get some money to get this thing out as fast as possible. So that's why they got on the horn with Sony, because it wasn't announced as exclusive initially.
Is it exclusive?
Yeah, it's a PlayStation exclusive. I don't know if that's just a time thing or what, but either way, they got some money, and I think they brought in more people to be able to get it out ahead of Dead Space.
I'll tell you where I'm at with it. I've never played a Dead Space, so when they said that the Dead Space creators are making this game, I was like, okay, didn't care. But then, and I really haven't followed it until I saw the trailer yesterday, and I was like, oh, this is awesome.
No,
this is one of the coolest things I've ever seen.
I thought it was like, I was like, okay, it was a cinematic that looked nice. They can work on that and put it out. I didn't expect it to look this good.
It looks so good.
It looks like AAA, full blown. I didn't think this is what the studio was going to be. It grabbed me. Like, I'm gonna go ahead and say it. If God of War doesn't hit this year, this is my most anticipated.
Yeah.
Like it
looked really cool.
And in every way, they used their roots of making Dead Space. They did not feel bad for putting the HUD on the back of the neck or anything like that. This game is Dead Space completely.
Yeah.
Like I'm sure the story will be unique in its own way.
Spiritual successor.
You know, EA is like,
just fine.
Son of a bitch, dude. Like,
we thought we were going to make some bones. Yeah. It's actually good for both companies.
Yeah.
I think it's good for both companies because there's hype around.
You don't think there'd be fatigue after Callisto Protocol?
No.
There's only 2 games. So.
I mean, like these games aren't super big time-wise. Like, it's not something you're going to be consumed with. It ain't like Elden Ring came out and then someone made an Elden Ring-sized game, then I'd be fatigued.
Well, it's also not like Fortnite. There's not going to be Fortnite, PUBG, what is it called? Apex Legends, and then like 15 other on Steam.
Right. And at the end of the day, these are niche things that those people crave horror games, and especially action horror games. Yeah. This is my favorite kind of horror game. I love where the beginning you feel so vulnerable because you're so weak. And by the end of the game, I'm not scared anymore. I'm terrified at the beginning, but like Dead Space, I felt so good beating that game because I conquered it. You conquer that thing that scared you. What about you, Cole? What was your loved thing?
My loved thing? What I loved is what looks like a created character in Street Fighter 6. Like, I'm not a big fighter game fan, but that is a way to get me to come back, is to where I can create a character and unlock. And it looked like they hinted at stuff to unlock.
Yeah.
Like when he held up, I think in one part of the trailer, he held up like a jacket. And I was thinking, like, maybe you could unlock stuff.
I think that's the key to those, like the new style fighting games, like Mortal Kombat stuff, is having stuff to unlock and make your character look different.
And you will always have the hardcore fans. Like, I mean, fucking people still play all those hardcore fighting games and tournaments and stuff. But you need the casuals like me to play.
Yeah, they need the money from the casuals for sure. I'll say, I was hoping this would get brought up because whenever I saw the open world running around stuff, it just reminds me of older fighting games where fighting games have a hard time with that. Like Mortal Kombat, I think it was Deception, had that where you're doing the third person running around doing quests, and then you go into a regular fighting game fight. And I had fun with it as a kid, but it always felt kind of cheap and corny. And I hope they don't do that here. Like, we didn't see enough to know. But that's the part of it. I like being able to create a character. I love that in like Soul Calibur 4, creating a character and going through dungeons. Like, it feels like your own thing.
You can make your character have huge titties. Armageddon.
Yeah, Armageddon, yeah. Go ahead.
I've never stuck with a Street Fighter game, but I definitely do want to try this one and see how it feels. I mean, it looks like it's going to feel amazing. I think they're using the RE engine.
I've never played a Street Fighter game.
Yes, that's amazing.
So I think it's going to be really clean. I mean,
it
looks
never played
clean.
a Street Fighter game.
Never played Street Fighter.
Dude, Street Fighter is the bones of everything I know as a fighting game fan. Street Fighter 2, just all the time when I was growing up. Like I probably wouldn't care about fighting games that much. I'd be like you if I hadn't played it.
Yeah.
And that led me right into the other ones like Tekken and Soul Calibur.
But if there's stuff to unlock, I'm all in.
But let's get into the gameplay of this game. I've been wanting to talk about too because it looks like they're trying to be more Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
In terms of, I mean, not legitimately, but the weight of it feels more weighty and less anime than like Dragon Ball FighterZ or Capcom. Like Capcom, generally their stuff feels floaty and faster paced. This feels more thought out,
heavy.
grounded.
Yeah.
I also do have an honorable mention. I hate Luke. He looks like a pussy.
Oh yeah, the character.
He looks like a TikToker, and there's never been a TikToker alive that intimidates me, unless you know what I mean. Unless fucking Francis Ngannou has a TikTok.
That leads me right into another thing I'm a little concerned about with this game. They're trying to go so like modern and hip
with new characters,
but it kind of doesn't feel authentic. It feels like Capcom as a company trying to do that.
I hope they don't make the mistake of, which to me was a mistake, Mortal Kombat 10, which had more new characters than old.
Oh yeah,
and you kind of miss that classic.
Yeah, well, right now they've only shown 4 characters, and that's a little concerning. But I imagine most of them will be there. You gotta think. I don't know, like with them going all modern and hip. I mean, like the song was dope and all, but it doesn't really feel like Street Fighter.
No,
maybe they are getting away from it.
We have to have Street Fighter Thirst Trap Cammy on this game.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, she'll probably be.
I've never played Street Fighter game, but I know who Cammy is.
I know who you are.
I know who Cammy is.
No, it looks great. I'm still a little bit in wait and see mode just because I'm not sure. Like it doesn't
really
quite feel
out.
like Street Fighter. Yeah, and that's another thing. The date I wasn't expecting to be a year away. Like, that's kind of surprising.
Well, they teased it. Was it March this year that they started teasing this?
Well, it's just like historically, fighting games don't get that put that far away. Mm-hmm. You see them and they're released within like 6 months. But I mean, it's Street Fighter. If anyone's going to do it, it'd be Street Fighter. Eric?
Yeah, my game of the show was definitely the opener, Resident Evil 4 Remake. Kind of been rumors of it beforehand, but it's everything that I wanted from it. It looks so clean. It's reimagined in an awesome way that makes it more creepy. It looks like it's really creepy to go around this town and stuff. Everything looks good about it. And the opening, get the little guitar, the Spanish guitar was awesome.
So sick.
Yeah, I mean, I think we all kind of knew it was going to happen. Like there's been a lot of leaks and rumors around it, and it didn't disappoint when they showed it. I mean, it was a little less than I wanted to see. Like, I mean, we know the game, so I guess you don't run through too much of it, but I mean, it looks brand new. It looks completely remade, which is what it is. And I guess that's all I felt like they needed to show.
Yeah.
And it's not that far away. So
March, not bad at all. March was pretty.
I like what they showed.
Yeah, I thought there was a chance.
I don't want them to show too much and then ruin the suspense for me.
That's fair. But I felt like there was a chance it would sneak into 2022, maybe like a November game, or maybe even an October game for a Halloween game. But Capcom historically likes that beginning of the year spot.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a game that everybody kind of knows and loves, so it's kind of hard to say much more than that.
Yeah, I'll say it's one of my favorite games, and I'm glad to see it come back.
Yeah. Okay, I'll go into the thing I hated would have to be ETERNIGHTS. But not the game. The game looks fantastic. I was so hyped the entire time.
That game looks awesome.
It looks so good. Like I was like, what is this game the entire time? And then we get to the end and they show the title.
Yeah. That's not a good title.
All I could think is like, it's such a cool game to have such a lame
dorky title, dude.
It's like I have to tell people like, yeah, you need to check out this game, ETERNIGHTS.
It's one of my dude, honestly, like this is the way I see it. ETERNIGHTS, the name of it. It's one of those because my roommate does not play games and stuff. If I'm sitting there playing that game, he asks me what I'm playing, I say ETERNIGHTS, he's going to laugh his ass off.
Just tell him it's an anime fighting game or something.
Yeah, well, it's a dope ass action adventure game, dude.
But the art style, like with the cutscenes looking so anime, and then like I think that both like that looks good, and the actual gameplay looks really good.
Yeah. Did you hear the PlayStation lady describe it as action RPG meets dating sim?
Did you see what it said? Hold R2 to hold hand.
Oh yeah,
I'm excited for all of that.
There's already memes.
I'm all about it. And personally, I'm not a big turn-based fan. I'm happy to see it's live action. Like, like actually like Final Fantasy 15 action.
Yeah,
I thought you were gonna say that's a turn-based game I can get behind. I was like, that did not look turn-based.
No. I'm really excited to play that game. So I kind of turned my hate into a like in this one. It's just the name. Maybe they won't change it. It's going to be that name.
So my hate, not really hate, but more concern is when they showed No Man's Sky for PSVR 2, and it makes me wonder that people who have a digital library of PSVR stuff, if that's not going to be compatible.
I gotta assume so. Well, especially with No Man's Sky, they've been so user friendly. All the updates being free and everything. Yeah. Like I would imagine they're gonna.
Are they gonna put this out as that? That's why I guess my concern is a $60 game. Like,
nah, there's no way it'll be 60.
Or
at worst, like a $30 expansion. But I don't know. I couldn't tell you.
It's also like another. This kind of ties in with the VR stuff. It's like this was presented as a third party and PSVR showcase.
Yeah. And
then they didn't really give us a release date or window or
that was almost my
price point or like this. If you were going to show your PSVR to go all in and show all of it.
Yeah, I was almost my hate thing is that like you show us all these games and like they look good, they look really good.
Oh yeah,
but I don't know anything about when this console is coming, the VR is coming, or even what the thing looks like.
I don't even know it was out.
They've showed the controllers and they're more Quest-like with the haptics and stuff. I mean, they look cool, but we don't know price, release date. I mean, we don't know anything about it. And this was a time if they were leaning in towards the PSVR, add 5 minutes to your showcase and throw it all in there.
Right. Maybe it's not ready to show, but I don't think you should show
games
4 games then, So my final love thing, I loved most of this, by the way. Like, it was a really good show in my opinion. ROLLERDROME, that game, it's intrigued me. And I've already heard y'all's piece on it. Well, like, Eric, you seem more into it. Cole's like, this is, I wasn't, the moment I saw Roll 7, I was like, this is going to be a fun time.
What have they done?
They made OlliOlli World.
Okay.
And it's shocking that this came out that quick. Because
OlliOlli World is real. This year too.
I forgot you were all balls deep into OlliOlli World.
Well, dude. I mean, I wouldn't say like it's the best game ever, but that kind of gameplay is my jam. Like I love something that's kinetic and you just keep jumping in. Yeah, exactly. You can just keep jumping in and getting better, and it's just like it's a happy place, a peaceful place. And this game looks like it combines that with the kinetic shooter gameplay of something like My Friend Pedro. And it's easy on the eyes. I love the art style that they use.
If it plays like it looks, like the gameplay looks, it's going to be really fun. Like it looks just like a fun time.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be like a deep story or anything, but sometimes
I don't need it to be.
Right. Sometimes games can rely on their gameplay, and as long as I can be, you can pull me through an 8-hour game just off of great gameplay.
And I think like that's the perfect way to show an indie to me is have it announced in June and coming out in August. Like not every time it's gonna be like that, but I think that's where Tunic lost it for me.
Yeah,
it was shown years beforehand, and then when I got it, it was kind of the disappointment to me.
Yeah. But I think the example for me is a game that's missing here that we talked about, Little Devil Inside.
Yep.
I was really excited when they first showed that, and it's been so long now that I'm like, I don't know. Can it ever live up to 3 years of hype?
My is just a simple and happy indie game, Stray. I'm glad we saw some more Stray.
Yeah, it's been a while.
But it looks cool, just like all the stuff they added, how you can interact with the world. I didn't know when I first saw what it was going to be about. I didn't know if it was going to be just a walk-in sim or if it was going to have a little bit more depth. And I'm glad that they showed it here that there's more depth to the game because I don't want... I mean, it's a cat. How interesting can a fucking... I mean, it can look very pretty.
Yeah.
But pretty can only get you so far. That's what all the babes tell me.
I mean, I've been intrigued since they first showed it. I just didn't know what the game was. Yeah. This trailer right here really sold me on how awesome this could like. This could be a really great game, I think.
Oh, yeah. Well, I feel like the only time I wasn't hyped was the very first trailer because all they showed was the cat, and they didn't show anything about the gameplay. It's like, this is going to be like a 2D.
Yeah. I thought it was going to be 2D, too.
Yeah. But it's way bigger than that. So the last trailer they showed before this one was really big and in-depth, and they went in on it pretty good. All we've been waiting for is a date. I'm pretty sure they had a date on it for February at one point or sometime in spring, and it got pushed, and that kind of took me down a little bit on it because I didn't know if they'd push it out of the year or what. But yeah, no, this is one of my most excited games of the summer for sure.
I think it's a really cool thing they did with the tying it into the PlayStation Plus thing. Like subscription service.
Yeah, that's something to get into. This feels like PlayStation's move.
Yeah.
You get these good deals with people like AnnaPurna for like $30, $40 games, good experiences.
Little Devil Inside, Stray, stuff like that.
Things that won't cost them that much, and they don't have to worry about like a God of War coming out, and they would have made more money selling it the day of, So you can go day one on these and be like, yeah, we got we got some really good day one games, but you're still gonna have to buy God of War. Eventually it'll come, but you're gonna have to buy it.
I think that's the way they need to do this. Is like the indie kind of games that they're showing at these showcases should be the ones they kind of lean in for their subscription services.
As someone that's like a avid supporter of Game Pass, I don't know how I feel about PlayStation, because like RollerDrome could very well be a thing where it starts being exclusivity rights over that. Who can have it on their subscription?
Yeah.
So like that,
right.
it's like I might start worrying about which subscription has what. You know. So I imagine that's where we're headed.
My last love of State of Play, my long lost love, was Final Fantasy 16. The perfect way to end this State of Play. It was so hype. That trailer was awesome. The music was so cool with the names of the kaijus in there, or summons, but and then the sheer giddiness I had of seeing these two kaiju fights and being able to like
control it.
Yeah, control it. It's gonna be so cool. I think it looks really clean.
Oh, it looks extremely clean.
I will say, you said it looks extremely what?
Yeah, to me it looks extrememely clean. Like when they zoomed in on some of these kaiju, and like, it looks like that's where I'm most excited, because personally the gameplay, I can leave it or take it. I like it better than turn-based, but it's still like I don't get that hype for Final Fantasy gameplay. It's all about the visuals
moments,
and the story and the characters for me.
Yeah, and I could tell this game I had no expectations for this game. Nothing. And then I watched this and I was like, oh yeah, this looks dope. Yeah. So
I mean, I've been pretty excited since the first time they showed Final Fantasy 16, which is a step for me, because I'm not a huge Final Fantasy fan. But 15 is my favorite, which is probably blasphemy to a lot of people. But I think this is the same team, is it not? Like, I haven't looked into it, but I'm pretty sure it's the same team.
I wish that they would remake 10 just for you, because that story is amazing. And I know you don't like turn-based, so I'm not even going to recommend it, but
I'll play it.
Oh, Final Fantasy 10.
I'll end up
so
playing
if they ever...
Is it on Game Pass? It's on Game Pass. It was on Game Pass.
But if they ever do the Resident Evil route of, like they did with 7, remaking the old ones, which I'll be fucking 60 years old before any of that shit happens, because Square Enix takes their sweet-ass time.
Yep, Square.
But
I'm looking at
10 would be... Like, 10 is a great story that if they did the combat of 7, I think it would be really cool.
Well, see, at the end of the day, like I played 7, and that gameplay, I just want it to be more like Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, something like that, where the things just still don't feel like they connect very well.
Yeah.
Like it's just everything's kind of hollow when you hit. It doesn't feel like a huge return on investment with that big swing with this big sword, but it's still kind of like just clipping through them.
I hear what you're saying, but I think you're full of shit.
Why?
No, I'm just kidding.
Hey, I agree with you.
I played a lot of these.
Hey, I agree with you, but you've never been more fucking wrong in your life.
No, this explains me as a Final Fantasy doubter.
Hater.
I adore so many aspects of anime. Like the anime-ness of Final Fantasy is why I want to like them.
Anime-ness.
But I hate the game part of them. If I could watch them, I imagine there are anime.
Watch them.
Fantasy.
I know a girl named Anime-ness.
Anime-ness. But I just don't like the way they play. They never feel satisfying or skill-based. It's just kind of like, I want to be to the next cutscene. I don't like when I play a game and I'm not wanting to do the gameplay things.
Yeah.
You know what I say to that? If you like the story, you pull up your fucking panties and you get to that gameplay.
Yeah. But yeah, we thought it was a great show. I think, or at least I did. I don't even speak.
Yeah, I want to give it. You want to give grades to it?
Give it a grade. Yeah.
I want to give that an A+. A+. I don't think, like, with the expectations of third party and PSVR 2, I think they knocked it out of the park. There was not one game that I was like, besides like Tunic or something like that we've already seen. But like they were so short that I didn't care to sit through that. Like I think every one of these games is something I would try. I think that's stuff rare for me for watching a showcase.
I agree. My grade's still like an A-, and then the minus comes from most of the things shown that were of big hype levels were next year.
Yeah,
like what we saw was Street Fighter was next year. Okay, Callisto this year, but it still is December 2nd. Like it's a long way away. But I do think, like you said, every game there is exciting and good. They didn't waste time. I think other than like Tunic, it's coming. It needed to be shown somewhere. So I guess
I was kind of sweating bullets too about the 30 when they said 30 minutes. And I'm like, oh, dude, something's not going to be there. Something's not going to make it.
Well, no, that's another reason I can't give it an A+ because there still were things that weren't there.
Yeah.
You know? How you feel about it, Cole? I know the VR didn't quite do it for you.
It's a B+.
B+.
I only cared about Callisto, Res 4 Remake, and Final Fantasy 16 is Street Fighter.
That's a pretty good call there, though.
I mean, no, it's great.
Minutes.
It's great, but I just didn't care about the. I mean, Stray was cool, and the indies were cool. Season looked cool, but
yeah, we didn't even talk about.
So you
season.
liked it?
I know I did like it. I didn't say B plus is alike. I like it.
This is our first one that we're doing, and there's a lot of conferences left. If we set the bar at A plus, then where do we go from there? Like, what if Xbox knocks it completely?
Well,
out
I
of
just
the
think it's a B plus because I don't care that they showed us Marvel or Spider-Man. I did not care about VR stuff just because I don't have VR. I've never played VR. I don't really care to play VR until later.
Yeah.
It looks cool. I'll watch a YouTube Let's Play of someone playing VR all day. I've watched someone play.
You don't have to watch YouTube.
Alex?
You can watch me.
When
I get it.
Oh.
When it comes out.
It's just, there's some, DLCs, remakes, ports, and stuff like that I didn't really care about. But everything else was dope. So, yeah, B+.
B plus. Solid
And the way
rating.
they paced it was good, too. So, like, they didn't, like, front load it or back load it.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
Yeah. So I think as a whole, we give it like an A, like right around an average of an A.
Yeah.
But we appreciate you watching. And if you enjoyed, please subscribe. And we'll see you next time. Now, let me do that again. Next
time.
I started like
We'll see you
Sean
next
Connery.
next time.
Sean Connery next time.
If you get out of line, I'll hit you. I'll smack you around.
But yeah, that's our thoughts on. No,
that messed it up with the pen.
no, I did it myself. But yeah, that's our thoughts on the State of Play. We really enjoyed it, and if you liked the video, no, I did good the first time.
You did good the first time. You want me to?
Yeah, you can do it.
I'll try. And that was our thoughts on the PlayStation State of Play. We were excited about it, and if you liked the video, please like, subscribe, share with your friends, even if you just tell someone at work just to take a look at our stuff.
Or if you're walking down the street, yell at a stranger.
Yeah.
Yell at a stranger. For sure, yell at strangers.
Yeah, that's how you make friends.
Yeah. Tell them to like and subscribe. Don't even tell them the channel.
Just anything in life, like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe.